So, for my writer's workshop start today, I watched the Disney Nature Bears video yesterday, and I feel pretty good about the information that I have on my graphic organizer. But what I need to do is, I feel like I need to find some more facts because if you'll remember, I wrote my introduction, and my introduction says, "This is my book about bears. Bears are an awesome animal to learn more about." And I like my introduction a lot, but I want to make sure that I've got enough information on my organizer to fill in my diet page. So, with the help of my mom or my dad or my grandpa or my grandma or my cousins or my uncles or my brothers, I went online and I looked up from the bears, the Disney Nature Bears video, that those bears, I know that their habitat is Alaska and I know that they're brown. So I searched brown bears in Alaska and I found this awesome website from the World Wildlife Foundation that has more information about brown bears. And it's even the Alaska Wildlife Guide. So I'm going to see if I can find some more interesting facts and some more about diet for my diet page that I'm going to be working on writing today. Holy free holies, you guys. When I was reading that page from the World Wildlife Foundation, I was doing more research about bears, right? My diet column on my page is huge now. I learned so much more about bears. And while I was researching and filled in my diet, I also learned an interesting fact. So now my diet page says fish, and I know that the fish that they eat are salmon. I learned that not only do they eat berries, but they eat rich berries because they're so big, they have to get so much energy. So they eat berries that are like really rich and make sure that they can have energy to move around. I also learned this cool fact that their claws help them dig for roots and small animals. So their claws are really, really thick and they dig in the dirt for roots and small animals. Remember, when I'm putting notes in my note catcher, I don't have to use whole sentences, right? So when I'm just filling in for my diet and my habitat and my family and my interesting facts, I'm not writing a full sentence because I'm going to save that for my writing page. I was just taking down some quick notes so that I can remember, so that I can write in a full sentence on my diet page, okay? So I've got my second page here that says diet at the top and lots of blank space, and then right here I can draw a picture. If you use the paper that doesn't have any space for a picture, that's awesome. That means that you've got tons more room to write your interesting facts and your diet information about the bears that you learned or about whatever animal you're researching. Sorry, mine is bears, but you can be researching whatever you want. So I'm going to go to my organizer and I'm going to make sure that I'm looking in that column where I wrote all the different things that bears eat. And I'm going to think about how do I want to start off this diet page, okay? So how do I want to start my diet page? Well, I learned that bears eat fish, salmon, those rich berries, and their claws help them to dig for roots and small animals. It seems to me that they eat a ton of salmon. So I'm going to start my page off by saying that because I think that that's what I learned that they eat the most. So I'm going to start and I'm going to write b, e, eat. And, I almost forgot to leave a space. I'm going to use my finger to help me leave a space. Eat. And eat is actually a sight word. So if I want to use somebody to help me spell that word correctly, I can. Bears eat. I'm going to stretch out the word lots. And then I'm going to use that word of that I know is a sight word. Ooh, does it look like I have enough room right here? I'm going to try. Let's see if I have enough room. Oh, even after leaving a space, I did. Bears eat lots of, and then I'm going to need to stretch out the word salmon. So I'm going to I'm going to remember all the skills that I have to stretch that word out. Bears eat lots of salmon. I'm going to make sure that I put a period at the end of that sentence. And then, as a good reader, I'm going to go and point to the things that I've written. Woo, guys, I'm going to point to the words that I've written and make sure that I can read that back so that if somebody walked up to my writing, I could read my writing to them. Bears eat lots of salmon. Awesome. The second thing that I'm going to put on this page is that really cool fact for me about how their claws help them dig for roots and small animals. When I was reading, I learned that their claws are longer than other bears. So I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to start by writing that. Own. And I already wrote the word bears. Remember, when I'm doing my research, if I see the word bears and I'm using that to research, I can make sure that I'm spelling that word correctly because I can see it in the research that I'm doing. Brown bears have, and that's a sight word, so I'm going to remember my Heidi sight word song, have, and remember it has that vase prop E on the end because Vicki Violet's vase might tip right over. Brown bears have oo, ah, ng, k, oo, ah, w, s. Two is a sight word. To, d, I, g. Four is a sight word. Oo, t, s. And, it looks like I'm out of space. If I'm out of space here, remember I can flip over to the back of the page. I can still even see the lines a little bit in this printed page. So I'm going to flip over to the back and I'm going to make sure I remember what I wrote on that side for roots, and I'm going to write the word all. Giant all is in that word. I'm still going to make sure, even if I can't see the lines, that I'm leaving a space. Animals. And I'm going to make sure that I leave a period. Now, my last step on this page is to go back and point to the words as I read. Remember how we've talked about that writers use their pencils as a magic wand, right? Because this end down here helps me to write the words, but this end right here helps me to edit the words. So I'm going to use that end as I point to my words and make sure that this says what I want it to say. Brown bears have long claws to dig for roots and small animals. Yes, awesome. And now I can go right here and I can draw a picture of the bears using their claws. I can even divide my page in half and I can draw bears eating salmon like I saw in the video that I used as research on this side. And I can draw bears digging with their claws that I read in my research on this. I almost forgot a super important step. If you'll remember yesterday on our introduction, we went and we wrote the number 1 at the bottom so that we would remember that that was the first page of our book. I forgot on my diet page, I've got to write the number 2 at the bottom because I'm writing this second and I want to make sure that that's my second page in my book. So once I've written 2, I'm ready and I can draw my pictures and fill in my book and keep it all together, keep all of my stuff together for when we work in Writer's Workshop tomorrow. Awesome job today, you guys. I hope that you are writing your all about books and learning and loving all of the things that you're learning about animals.